Ask any manga lover about the most iconic series ever created, and the title you're sure to hear is One Piece. And on the rare occasion that they don't agree, the record-breaking comic series speaks for itself, ranking as the most successful manga series in history with over 500 million copies sold globally. The fascinating story of the adventures of Monkey D. Luffy and his Straw Hat Pirates crew is a brainwork of one man, who translated his childhood love for pirates and manga onto his pen and paper. Today, he takes millions of people on literary adventures, changing history with his Japanese-style comics. This is the inspiring story of mangaka legend Eiichiro Oda. Eiichiro was born on New Year's Day of 1975 in Kumamoto, the capital of the Kumamoto Prefecture on the island of Kyushu, Japan. Little is known about his family, but we know that his mother was a stay-at-home mom, while his father, Saiichiro Oda, was a worker whose hobby was oil painting. Perhaps his hobby was what launched Eiichiro into a truly colorful world of adventure. We also know that Eiichiro has at least one sibling, as he has mentioned an older sister with whom he constantly fought growing up. Saiichiro Oda was a lover of anime, and in no time, his young son also became a fan. They enjoyed series like The Monster Kid, Kaibutsu-kun, and Vicky the Viking, which most likely inspired Eiichiro's love for pirates and his future work. By the time he was 4, Eiichiro Oda loved manga so much, he resolved to become a mangaka. His reason at the time was that, like the creators he admired, he also wanted to get paid without having to do a real job. As Eiichiro's fascination for manga grew, he became glued to the manga magazine Weekly Shonen Jump, where he read Osamu Akimoto's Kochikame and Yuri Tamago's wrestling manga Kinnikuman. He even made some decisions based on the lives of his favorite manga characters, like deciding to join his school's soccer club after reading the popular series Captain Tsubasa. However, he came to particularly love Akira Toriyama and his fantasy comedy series Dragon Ball. Beyond its storyline, Eiichiro Oda was fascinated by its depiction of characters, muscles, and mecha. With time, Eiichiro Oda's childhood dream became his life's goal, to become a mangaka himself. Eiichiro Oda was just a high school student when his mangaka career began. Football was great, but the inspiration behind the decision to play football at all was a bigger deal to him. So, it wasn't surprising when he quit football to face manga fully. Eiichiro began playing around with sketches for a pirate-themed series during his first year in high school. He drew a one-shot titled Fly Up Boy and submitted it for Shonen Jump's 69th Hop Step Award. His work was so good, he made it to the finals. However, someone else's won, so Eiichiro's work wasn't published. That didn't deter the young creative from his big dreams though. In 1992, when he was 17 and in his second year of high school, Eiichiro Oda decided to gun for the Tezuka Award, a prestigious semi-annual manga award by the Japanese publisher Shueisha. He created his first full-length manga titled Wanted. It was a Western-themed one-shot manga about a criminal named Gil Bostar, with a massive bounty on his head. Eiichiro Oda was proud of his work, but he was concerned about what his parents and teachers would think. How could he publish his work without them knowing? The answer was the name Suki Himizu Kikondo, a pseudonym he created to enable him to submit the manga without being detected. It worked, and then came Eiichiro's first notable achievement. He won the 44th Tezuka Prize of 500,000 yen, and was recognized by many industry greats. In addition, Wanted was published in Shueisha's Mezase Mangakai magazine. He also got featured in a prominent Kumamoto City newspaper. Eiichiro's journey to greatness had officially begun. As 1993 rolls in and Eiichiro Oda graduates from high school, he decides to enroll in the architecture program at Kyushu Tokai University, but kept his manga flair alive by submitting his work to Shueisha. Weekly Shonen Jump was Eiichiro's goal, but the Tezuka Prize didn't get him that, so he sought the Hop Step Awards with another series, Iki Yako, which he won. At this point, he was tired of competing at the amateur level, and a bigger manga career beckoned to him, and so he responded by dropping out of the university in 1994 to chase it. Eiichiro Oda then gets his first break as Shonen Jump hires him as an assistant mangaka, where he gets to work with Shinobu Kaitani on Midoriyama Police Gang for about a month, then with Masaya Tokihoto on Jungle King Tar-chan, and with Nobuhiro Watsuki on Rurouni Kenshin. These experiences helped him develop his own manga creation technique. At the same time, he continued to submit drafts of his work, but faced countless rejections. Remember how Eiichiro Oda had developed a draft about pirates when he was in high school? It was his ticket to another bout of success. He made it into a serial titled Romance Dawn, and it was published in the Shonen Jump Summer Special of 1996. This is where we first met Monkey D. Luffy, the protagonist of the highly successful One Piece. Thankfully, there was an opening in Weekly Shonen Jump around the same time, and Eiichiro created a second Romance Dawn draft, which was then published. 1997 was the year that everything changed. One Piece, still titled Romance Dawn at the time, was approved for serialization in Weekly Shonen Jump, and Eiichiro Oda became a full-fledged mangaka. What followed was unprecedented success. The comic outdid other feature work, and by the next edition, it was named One Piece. It quickly evolved into an animated adaptation in 1998, a full-length anime series in 1999, and a video game in 2000. Now, what got people so glued to One Piece? As many of you may know, there are many things for sure, but the genius of Eiichiro Oda's storytelling is undeniable. Monkey D. Luffy, who is the series' main character, is a young man who became elastic after mistakenly eating a devil fruit. He dreamt of being a pirate when he was a child, and at age 17, he set out to find the legendary One Piece, a treasure that would help him succeed Gol D. Roger to become king of the pirates. As he grew, he gained more powers and gathered a crew to help him on his journey. One Piece explores themes of friendship, adventure, and freedom. And in the One Piece world, anything and everything is possible if you can put your heart to it. Eiichiro masterfully introduces new arcs and characters where necessary to keep his viewers engaged. For instance, the Marineford arc, widely considered the most emotionally charged of them all, pulled readers deeper into the One Piece universe. In it, Luffy joins forces with other major characters in the story in a race against time to save his brother. He also suffers severe emotional trauma, and the war at Marineford changes the course of the One Piece world drastically. Although there are currently 109 volumes of One Piece, the manga series continues to capture both young and old audiences thanks to Oda's gift of storytelling, but also his hard work. You see, one thing everyone admits about Eiichiro is that he works tirelessly. He refers to himself as a perfectionist, and his editors agree with him. In fact, he has admitted to sleeping just 3 hours a day during a typical work week. As fate would have it, his dedication to his work also brought him the love of his life. Chiaki Inaba, born January 4, 1978, is a former model and actress who acted as Nami during a One Piece live-action musical at Jump Fiesta 2002. At this point, One Piece was already a household name in Japan, and had its own stage show titled One Piece Spectacle Stage. Chiaki Inaba played Nami in the stage show from 2001 to 2003, and the couple dated for 2 years before finally getting married in November of 2004. Today, they have 2 daughters together. Eiichiro Oda has enjoyed great success with his One Piece franchise, but his journey to greatness hasn't been without issue. One thing that has many people concerned is the mystery around the mangaka. Sure, it's normal for mangakas to keep their personal lives secret due to Japanese values of modesty and encouraging people to live quiet lives. There's also the concern about fans invading the privacy of these globally recognized stars, and their desire to separate their personal and professional lives. However, manga readers are familiar with a book jacket flap where they can see the author's notes. Some mangas provide some insight into their personal lives in the space with thank you messages and personal anecdotes. It's also not out of place to find some who rant about the difficulty that comes with the work that they do. But in almost 3 decades of work on One Piece, Eiichiro Oda has barely shared anything. In fact, he once said, "I once read about a manga's artist's struggles in the author's corner and told myself that I wouldn't write such things. No one really cares about an artist's hardships. And even if the author were to write about his problems, the readers wouldn't understand them anyway, right?" Yet in 2023, he shared in an interview that he has to send his blood pressure values to his doctor every day, hinting that he suffers from hypertension. In 2024, he announced that he would be taking a 3-week break for scheduled maintenance, though adding that he was not unwell. It caused panic among those living on Manga Planet because Akira Toriyama, who had heavily inspired Eiichiro Oda, had died around the same time. Rumors about his health and the work culture of mangakas filled the internet, but One Piece returned the following month as scheduled. Today, One Piece remains a fan favorite among manga readers all over the world. It is the best-selling manga series in history, with over 510 million copies in circulation in 61 countries and regions worldwide. It has also broken publishing records, like the highest initial print run of any book in Japan, and has set the Guinness World Record for the most copies published for the same comic book series by a single author in 2015 and 2022. One Piece is also the only manga with volumes ranking first every year in Oricon's weekly comic chart existence since 2008. In 2023, Netflix collaborated with Eiichiro Oda and Tomorrow Studios to create a One Piece live-action series to several positive reviews. It marked the start of a new era of success for the mangaka king, Eiichiro Oda.